Yeah, I decided just to start it over. So hopefully people come back. But we were just getting started. I hate this. You know what I'm saying? They making sure that hey, they talking too positive over there. We need to get on top of that. Yep, yep. I be. I be dealing with the man. Y'all some time to come back in the room. That better, y'all? I guess it's a little you dig for that. Y'all back? Give y'all some time to come back in the room. Hey, y'all know when we start cooking, they got to come over here and start bothering the stream and all that stuff. They don't want nobody really be out here talking some positive stuff. If we were showing cat videos or something, yeah, it'd be all good. We don't want them talking no positive stuff. That ain't how it's supposed to go. We don't want them to be no constructive people. Social media. Yep. No need to apologize. Keep rolling. Keep rolling. That's YouTube. I know, right? They always be with the BS. But anyway, um, yeah, we need to be about justice. Okay. Um, so we want to try to break a lot of the programming. Um, uh, we're gonna hide that, Derwin, because we know they don't want us talking too candid. Okay, we got to talking cold around here, but it's all good. But yeah, yeah, we need to be about justice. So we want to be about the business of breaking our psychological chains. Shout out to Naeem Akbar. Y'all get his book, Breaking the Chains of Psychological Slavery. I need to get that book again too, because it's almost out of my mind. So, but I remember the title, and Naeem was a bad man. He got some videos on YouTube, so y'all can type his name in. He was about that business. But we want to break those chains, and so we're not going places and creating problems. The code should be the thing that governs you. Okay. So you should not be saying stuff like, well, the way I feel and the way I am and this is how I do things. No, it should be the code. The code governs what you do. The code governs what you say. Okay. Great authors. He is one of my main reasons I changed my name. That's what's up. His book, Knowledge of Self. Yeah. Well, the reason why I changed mine was because Malcolm, brother brother Little, you did. When I read that book, I was like, yeah, I got to go change my stuff. So my stuff been changed since I was 19. You know what I'm saying? And then we asked the government to deport Garvey back to, yeah, you're right, New York. Um, because he was on the verge of becoming somebody that most of the Negro preachers could not contend with. So they start, well, why would you go listen to a Negro preacher when you can go listen to Garvey. So you can see why people would go and basically sabotage the movement, okay? And they didn't want to follow no orders. You know, just like when you look at that movie, The Panthers, that's a good indication of what happened, you know, when the Panthers were patrolling the neighborhood and the police with their covert operations, right? They would go and tell the drug dealers, man, I know we've been pretty bad on you guys, but you know, you all are doing your job. And of course, we're doing our job. But those Panthers, they don't care about y'all job, you know. And then the drug dealers were like, yeah, you know, we don't like them Panthers, you know what I'm saying? Because they was interfering with their money. So, you know, we have to be the ones to know better when the enemy comes to you, right? And then informs you about what your brother is doing that's for the good, right? And then you go against your brother, but then the enemy was the one talking to you, okay? They ain't had no smoke. If you notice, those drug dealers didn't have no smoke for the police. Well, no police getting gunned down during this time, right? But it was brothers on the movement that was actually taking care of their business in the street with officers. Because, like I said, when I was in there, it was brothers still in there from the '60s, right, for taking care of their business against certain agencies. Let me see what y'all writing over there. Saying, yeah. So, be mindful that the system will try to put out a narrative, and what they try to do is divide and conquer. They come tell you about your brother, right? And when they come, it'd be logical. Like when they came and made that statement to the drug dealers, it was logical. Okay, it was. But ultimately, what did it do to the neighborhood? What did it do to the people? What did it do to the movement? Right? And now here we are with the residual effects of that time right now. That's why it's so jacked up. We have literally no families. Okay. No generational wealth. We haven't moved one iota far as collective wealth. Our political disposition is all over the freaking place. Some of us are voting for our own extermination, which is crazy to me. Okay, so we totally off code, and that's why every so often we need to be revisiting the greats. That's why I said today is a great day to be bringing up Garvey. This is his birthday, and just think and how this brother was saying these things back in the 20s. You don't hear nobody hardly talking like that now, except for a few folks on YouTube. Other than that, when y'all walk around your particular area, you don't hear nobody talking like this. Most people are basically coons, unfortunately. Yeah, logic and emotion. Right. Let's see what else you got for us.
Cause your light to shine and justice sound, yeah.
Look the world over, and whatever you see in it that is pleasing to man, contributing to man's comfort, to his needs and to his satisfaction, it is but the work of man. Man blessed with the knowledge of himself and the understanding of all things around him. If you are able to live with the knowledge of yourself and with the greater knowledge of nature, you must know what is good and what is not. You must know what is finite. You must know that which is material, physical, and otherwise is at your disposal to create or otherwise use. If we leave America and go over to the east to Japan, they will be telling their fellow citizens of Japan of the wonderful accomplishments of the Japanese people, proving that man is moving onward as time moves on. But you have hated yourselves as you have done in previous years. You have shown malice, prejudice, and hate to each other. And the result is that while other races have made progress, while India has made progress towards nationalism, while Ireland has made progress towards republicanism, while the whole world has
Get
made
those
progress
likes up,
in
people.
man's accomplishments, you still stand fighting yourselves, dishonoring yourselves, showing no disposition toward that higher life so that you will be abundantly blessed. I hope that you will so reflect and think that you were created for some purpose other than exhibiting malice toward your neighbor or fellow men of your own race. What a pity it is that we cannot stand united without a written law. There is no written law compelling other races to stand together. They are brought together by the gentle touch of nature. The unwritten law of nature causes them to stand together on all occasions. So wheresoever you find them in the field, that one gentle touch of nature causes them to stand together, if need be, die together. But with the black man, you can preach to him from the pulpits. You lecture from the platforms, from the byways and the hedges. The spirit of cooperation, but he will not cooperate. You talk to him gently, you try talking harshly to him, he still will not cooperate. The result is that he falls prey to those who understand themselves and walk through the world making you their serfs and slaves. You must acquire an understanding of yourselves. Look around you. See the smiling pictures of nature, the beautiful hedges, the wonderful mountains, the wonderful vegetation all around. But because of your disposition to each other, you live in suffering, in want, in penury, and in debt. You lack the gentle touch of nature, love for each other. You hate yourselves. Black men, and what is wrong with you? Why have you no affection for yourselves? Could I hope to see you living among yourselves as the people I've spoken of? Living in charity, love, and in sympathy with each other? It can be done. I wonder if you will adapt that course. Isn't it easier to enjoy prosperity than to live in ignorance and darkness?
Absolutely.
Why select the worst of the nature? Nature never gave pain, suffering, and death to the world.
Nope.
It was man himself who selected death, pain, and sorrow. I wonder if I cannot inspire you to select between good and evil. Let me impress upon you once again that whatsoever your hardships may be, whatsoever your difficulties in life, they are your own selection. And so if you encourage them, if you husband them and take them to your bosom, they will abide with you. Nature will not take them away from you as Mother Nature did not give them to you. She's not responsible for your sorrows. Mother Nature represents all that is beautiful. She gave you the highest personality in the realm divine. Your sorrows are your own. If you want joy, if you want sunshine, it is before you. But
He said, your sorrows are but your own. Abundance is the order of the day. And the reason why folks don't have abundance, because they do not have abundance mindset. He is literally, and if you notice, when I be talking, even though I don't make reference to Garvey, when I'm speaking from him just in my own words. Because what did I say about abundance? It's waiting for us. These folks do not want us to inherit our birthright. They are literally stealing it in front of us. And not only are they stealing it, let me take that back. Not only have they stole it, now they're trying to make sure they hoard it. They don't want you to be able to get it back. Okay? And so we must fight harder so we can have the abundance that the Most High and Mother Nature has for us. That is our natural birthright. We got to pay water. We shouldn't have to be paying no water bill. The sun gets a daylight, so we get free light. We're supposed to get free water and free food. But we have to pay. We have to pay for it. All right? So we have to fight harder to get the abundance that is truly our birthright. And that's what Garvey is speaking to. Why are we not fighting harder for our abundance? Why are we not working together? Because working together, we get more. That's why I don't like this rugged individual people. I want to move to Africa and do what? Now you're gonna be over there struggling, trying to figure out how to make it work. And nobody's really over there on no community stuff yet. Not to the degree that I would like to see it. You know what I mean? So he's speaking directly to that. Why aren't you working together? Let me see what you all are saying. Yeah, the law of attraction. Absolutely. True identity. Exactly. Exactly what the doggone stole our identity. You know what I mean? Literally. You sure right. That's a good one. You're right. Let me see what else he said.
And clear nature. I made a selection of sunshine, the beautiful sunshine. I made a selection to laugh at the moon, to laugh at the stars, and sing with the birds of the forest and of the wilderness, to join in the rhythmic music of the winds that sing from east to west and from north to south. Had I selected sorrow, I would have been dead a long time ago and been without that which would send me into the presence of the divine, because I would have lived not with the knowledge that is divine. We must acquire the higher knowledge of life.
Great is the Lord and the company of him.
We must acquire the higher levels of knowledge of life. Haven't I been saying that? Have I not? When we be talking, we be covering all kind of topics. And I've heard a few of you all tell me in the comments, man, that's really deep, brother. This is what we're supposed to be doing, right? And if you have a community, right, you have a group of individuals of like minds, then you can tap into the, what do they call it? Let me see. The collective hive mind, right? That's like going. It reminds me of Star Trek when Captain Kirk would say warp speed. Okay, they already moving at a speed, but then they got warp speed. To me, that's when collective minds that we think alike, when we come together, we go from just a simple speed to warp speed. But we all have to be in agreement, and we all have to be on the same accord. And you have to want for you will have to want for your brother or sister as you want for yourself. Now tell me, are we operating on this type of code now in these divided snakes? This damn Erica, are we operating on that code right now? I'm gonna ask you all a question. Are we operating on that code right now? Yeah, yes, it could be like Avatar. I can't remember that. Can't remember that one. I'll take y'all long delay as we're not operating on that right now, which I know we're not. Okay. And so that's what we need to be able to get out of these divided snakes. Okay. So we can do things differently. Okay. We got Bob Jones says, nope, they tapped into the spiritual world and ancestors. And yeah, they have. But see, they stole the knowledge. Okay. That's why we know if you get a chance, which they probably will never let us do, to go in the basement of the Vatican. That's where a lot of our hidden knowledge is at. Okay. And it's probably some places in the UK, I would think, and it's probably somewhere here in the Smithsonian, probably in a secret room, all of our knowledge, right? And this is what they're operating off of. What's going on? I see you, Joe Love, down there. Yeah, this is what they're operating on. But see, here's the thing. That's the knowledge what our forefathers and our ancestors, because they had time to be here. It's enough knowledge out there now for us to extend the knowledge, if you ask me. Ethiopia. Yeah, we're gonna go there eventually. But yeah, we can extend on the knowledge now. All right, because a lot of it is seeping out. And if we take the time to study, to come up with master groups, right? And I think that is where we're going to be able to come up with new things that the world hasn't seen yet. Because remember, if y'all remember, on my community tab, I put a circle It's called. I want to see if anybody know what that circle is called that I put on my community tab. If y'all seen it. I don't. I ain't got Streamlabs on here. I'm gonna download Streamlabs today so I could be able to use the computer while I'm talking to you all, so I can show y'all pictures of what I'm talking about. Do you know dominion over the earth in certain time? Yes. Yeah, because they have it right now. So we have to acknowledge the truth. The reality is they have dominion right now. We can't dethrone them tomorrow. Okay, because if they wasn't supposed to have it, we can go and dethrone them tomorrow, but we can't. You see what the Taliban did. That threw me off. That threw me off. Oh, the circle. Now I go back to it, and that time is over. Well, we would like it to be over, okay, but right now they're clinging to power, and we need to make sure that it's over, okay. But that circle is the circle of ascension, okay. And now we moving into the age and have moved into the age of Aquarius. So that means it's going to be more sunlight, more instructions coming from the sun down to the earth. And of course, who is the being on this planet that can receive that instruction, can receive that intense light coming from the sun? Right here. This is right here what it is. That's what they're trying to interfere with. Yes. Is the Taliban good or bad for the Afghan? Right now, we don't know, but based off of their history, we would say it's all bad. Yeah. So we're moving into the golden age. This is a time for us to create. Yeah. They resist the beast because guess what? They've always been free. Okay. They have never been conquered, to my knowledge. And they've always been a warlike people. Okay. And so that's the reason why they fight. And then they have a country to fight for. Okay. And then they get backing from other countries too. Pakistan, Russia, China. You know what I mean? So they got some heavy hitters that's backing them up. So remember what I said, enemy of your enemy is your friend. We have to learn to make alliances with folks that we may not necessarily like, but in order to push our agenda, we need to align ourselves with certain individuals. That is the policy. Okay. The numbers are going down on Earth. Yeah, the numbers are going down, but they're gonna just convince other folks. Guess what? We're gonna snap our fingers, and now you're honorary whites, and we're gonna send you out to do our dirty work, i.e., south of the border. Yeah, they hid the women, but the Taliban gonna go through there, and they're gonna deal with them sisters. Okay. Anytime you deal with your enemy against your own people, if your people take back control, chances are they're gonna come dealing with you. And it's a lot of fear running around on these reports that they're gonna be hunting these women down. And a lot of them already have resigned themselves that they know they're gonna get hunted down. So they said, well, we'll just go home and just wait for them to come. So a lot of them are already prepared to go into the hereafter. Nah, that's not our stilo. You know what I'm saying? We've always had a village mentality. That's the reason why they came in and decided to push this, one man, one woman on our ancestors, because we lived in a village scenario where men would have various wives if they could afford it. And that's how we were able to create dynasties. Okay. That's why we were so powerful. It was in the village community setup. So when the Europeans came, what first thing they did was institute one man, one woman. Why do you think they did that? See, we know, a lot of us don't even know our true history. So when right now you talk to any sister about one man, one woman concept, they think that's how it's supposed to go. They don't know that it don't supposed to go that way. We never did that. We're just doing it now because these folks have convinced us that their way is the right way. But in actuality, it don't even work for them. Their numbers are decreasing. Okay. All right. We should be doing more of what we used to do so we can help their numbers to decrease. Okay. Yeah. You know what I mean? If a man would have, and you go to some places like inshallah, I get a chance to go to Mali and get a chance to interview some of the brothers up there. Some of the brothers up there got 5 wives, 30, 40 children. Now, the thing is, you got to be able to take care of them. So we have to be able to institute business along with family. Okay. So that's the thing. And when they came and saw what we were doing, how you think we were doing so well? It's crazy. People just don't understand that we're so far away from what we used to do. Even folks that's in Africa now, because they commandeered the school system, and then now they teaching from a Eurocentric style curriculum, which is basically reading, writing, and arithmetic. The deep sciences and the astrology and the horticulture and all that stuff, it's not readily taught in schools. You have to go to college basically in order to learn those things, where before you were learning them as a kid growing up. Yeah, they think it's a sin, but it ain't necessarily they thought it was a sin. They saw what it did for us. Okay. We had dynasties, they didn't. So we got dynasties where men are having 30, 40 kids per guy. Yeah, you got to figure out a way to diminish those numbers. Would you want to have to fight the hordes and hordes of men that would be produced for those type of unions? No. So you would institute, hey, one man, one woman, right? Like they did in China, and you only can have one child, two children tops. So you go from 30 to 2. That's easier numbers for you to fight in the future. Okay. You don't have to fight as many. Okay. Give you a better chance of winning the war. And that's what they did. Yes, Sweet Berry. So it was more than they just thought it was a sin. It makes sense for them to do that. And that's why they said they push it on us here. If you notice, what is our numbers looking like? We got the same numbers. The census just came out. Sweet Berry made me remember that the other day. And of course, who's running away with the population race? Folks south of the border. What do they think they are? Honorary whites. So we in trouble. We in trouble if you plan on staying here. I had a friend struggle in our critical thinking class. Yeah, well, critical thinking is one of those things because guess what? They don't teach that. That's something you have to learn on your own. Let's get back to my man. Let's see what else he's saying. Hold on. I forget my phone. Keep tapping me out.
Stop the sign and dirt, cause your light to shine and justice sound, yeah.
We must acquire the higher knowledge of life. Black men and black women, will you get the knowledge that the white man has that causes him to be leaders and masters in the world? They are not gods with a peculiar source for understanding the world around them. They have only given expression to the knowledge of their humanity and been able to use and conquer all to their satisfaction and glory. And that is why they are always greater than you in every community that you find them. Isn't it strange that wheresoever the white man is found, he takes precedence over you? Why is that so? Answer that for yourselves, black men and black women. Wheresoever you come in contact with the white man, you always have to go down in defeat before him. Whether it be in England, in France, or in America, you always have to go down to the white man, and yet he has 2 eyes, 2 feet, 2 hands, same passions, same senses and feelings as you have. Your feet are not put on opposite sides, nor your hands turned around the other way. But it because you fail to use your will, your knowledge, and your mental faculty to the point where you will enjoy life around you. I'm only here and not in the gutters and in the pond of despair because I use my intelligence. And I swear that no man alive shall ever use his intelligence in understanding the works of nature more than I shall rise as high as he ascends. I shall meet him on the same platform of mental equality and fight him till thy kingdom come because nature created us.
Damn right.
I want you to make up your minds as I made up my mind years ago. Make up your mind that you will rise to the knowledge of your soul. Because of your ignorance, you cannot understand and decide between good and evil. You don't know whether you're doing right or wrong. With a greater knowledge of life, you're able to appreciate all things around you.
Great is the Lord and the company of him who established Zion.
With the greater knowledge of yourself and the things around you, you will be able to live a better life. This was in the 1920s, people. This is the 1920s. I don't think we emphasize that enough. This is what he was saying in the 1920s. And why are we not studying the high sciences? Okay? That's why we can't compete on the same level. And I hate when I hear people say stuff like, oh, well, what about the people from the Orient? They come over here taking over everything. What? What they got to do with you? What does that got to do with you? Who gives a crap what they're doing? Are we not the original people? Are we not God's chosen people? Did we not create all of the sciences? So why are we worried about a carbon copy, not even a good one, a facsimile of us? Why are we worried about them? You're focused on the wrong, I want to cuss, the wrong stuff. You should be worrying about the higher sciences, the higher levels of yourself. This is where you're supposed to have your focus, not on what another folks are doing. Because really, there's no competition for us. How many times have I said that? These people are no competition for us. But we have to put the time in to study everything. Okay? So don't worry about other folks and what they're doing. Worry about what you're doing and worried about competing against them, because head to head, with everything being equal, as I always told you all, they don't hold a candle to us. All they do is they get the sciences and they start teaching it to their children, right, from birth. So they have a head start. If we did the same things, it'd be so easy for us to displace them. We get these children, and we can send them to these government institutions that they call schools, right? But then when they get home from school, what are we doing as parents? You need to be teaching them high sciences at home. I don't care how tired you is, all right? I don't care what you're trying to do with your life and all this and that. You need to be pumping a whole lot of energy into these children, because they have a quest and a thirst for knowledge, but we do not give it to them because why? We give them stuff to bog them down in minutia. Okay, you put a TV in their room. Kids should not have a TV in their room. If anything, you would give them a computer and get the parental controls on there so they just can't go all over that sucker. It could be, monitored. And we need to be teaching these kids high sciences, right, as early as freaking possible. They should be going to science fairs. They should be participating in robot competitions, science competitions. One generation, we can displace all this mess if we did things the right way. If enough of us did things the right way. But then we would have to extend ourselves. And a lot of us don't want to be bothered. That's what's the problem. We want to get home from work, come up out them clothes, get us something to eat, and we want to sit in front of the boob tube watching nonsense and wonder why. And then this is when you start hearing us complain about other people and what they're doing. But at the same time, we're not doing anything. So why are you talking about other folks? It's crazy. Let me see what y'all saying. We create everything. Yep. Thank you. So true. 100 years ago. Yep. So don't worry about other folks and what they're doing. We need to be worried about what we're doing. And we need to be doing it together because they're doing it together. Right? And it'll be easy to displace these people. And that's what Garvey is basically telling us. Why don't we stick together? Why don't we work together? Why don't we study the same things that other folks are studying? If we did and everything was equal, they do not win. They don't. Okay? They purposely make sure that we don't have access to that type of knowledge. But now, in today's society, we do have access to certain knowledge that we can take that and build upon it. We don't necessarily need all of the original stuff anymore. We can actually get new knowledge now. We're in the age of Aquarius. So the more you want to learn, the more you want to know, right? Everything you want to know is already out here for you to get now. You don't even have to go to university no more. We got a such thing called UT University. UT University. You don't even got to go to classes, okay? You can learn at your leisure. The most difficult subjects you can learn at your leisure now for free, oftentimes. So there's literally no excuse. That's why I am very confident that when we get a chance to actually settle over in the motherland, we're going to run circles around whoever's there. And they're going to be petitioning the government to keep us out. Guaranteed. Watch. Let me see what else we got.
Cause your light to shine and justice sound, yo.
I'm able to gather you here because I understand you. Understand your neighbor, your wife, your children, and you will be able to live in harmony with each other and get the best out of life. The early Africans who were able to be the fathers of our civilization because they persevered in their object. When we hear the civilization of the Alexandrias, of the Timbuktus, the creation of the black man in the early ages, do we realize that the civilization we now enjoy was handed down to the present century? But the black man went back to
sleep and
they're still sleeping. We are trying to awaken you to the true consciousness of yourselves. You young black men, you young black women, may we not appeal to you knowing you as we do to turn over a new leaf, rejecting the ignorance, the foolishness, the childishness that has been your part for these many years. We have looked into your faces, you growing manhood, the rising generation, and no serious thought can we see registered on your countenance but the thought of vulgarity. I've been in your presence and my heart bleeds for you, the conduct you reflect. I've listened to your dirty language used to express yourselves when you could have expressed yourselves in good form. Can I appeal to the black manhood to turn over a new leaf? I'm ashamed of my black manhood, and what I've said to the black man, I also said to the black women. Your conduct is disgraceful. Young women whose personality spells respectability. At the least provocation, the filthy words they utter would almost make you turn and run away from them. A race that cannot conduct itself any better than that is bound to go down in defeat, is bound to go down in death, in hell, and in degradation. Your conduct is going to destroy you. You're driving your best friends away from you. Men will not respect you because you do not respect yourself. As I come in contact with my race from both a financial and social point of view, I realize how weak we are in the essentials that make for success. You are your worst enemy. The black man goes into business and tries to do the right thing, but what do we find? He gets no support from his fellow man.
No.
They lie on him, they rob him, and the next thing you hear, he's out of business.
We hardly get any support. Did you hear what he said? And I remember when I first started coming on here and asking for folks to support. You remember how people were kind of, you should be asking for money. What? To get better quality information, right? Folks want a better quality video. Folks want better quality sound. But at the same time, expect the person to do these things with their own money, with their own time, and they should not receive anything. Did you not hear what he just said? You see how far we off code? When a person, you know at this point, all right, certain folks are really about it. Okay? And we are fall victim to this same stuff. Here we are, 2021. And he was saying this back in the 20s. Now, luckily, I have that type of mindset that I was like, okay, I'm in it to win it no matter what, right? Overall, it's better for me to be on this side than on the side of just going back into just minding my business and staying off YouTube and just doing what I would normally do anyway. What I'm going to do anyway. I'm just showing you all and giving you all a window into this is something that we all can do. We all should have YouTube channels, right? We all should be supporting one another, right? Online, and then it'll be easier for us to take it offline, right? This is what we should be doing because everybody has something to offer. But if you're tight and you're thinking that, okay, I don't know what folks be thinking. I be donating all around the board. People know me. When I come through there and hang out with them, I make sure I put a little something in there, okay? Because I understand what it takes now, which I've always understood what it takes to put yourself out there, open yourself up for criticism, for people to be all in your business, folks to be criticizing you, right? Talking crazy, the trolls. Then you got to do this on your own time, right? You got to buy the equipment, which is not cheap. This whole little setup here was like over $250. Then when you add the camera with it, the camera was $8 something. So it was like $1,000 some dollars I spent. Okay. And you still got to have the internet connection, right? It is what it is. I get it. Okay. I know where we get this spirit from. So I'm not tripping because I understand. I've kind of been dealing with this my whole life. Okay. But even our Godfather was talking about these same things. And here we are now, 2021, still dealing with the same ignorance and wonder why we can't get ahead as a people. Shaking my head.
Down by you, his brothers. We have no faith and are dishonest to each other.
Dishonest.
Great is the Lord and the company of your most established iron and dirt. Cause your light to shine and justice sound, yeah.
for the man in black. See how we are struggling as strangers in a foreign clime, struggling in America, in Europe, in Asia, and in Africa, where men look upon us not with love.
The government of the United States, along with the Federal Bureau of Investigation's Director J. Edgar Hoover, accused Marcus Garvey of using the U.S. mail to defraud. Garvey was put on trial.
After 11 hours of deliberation, the jury was called in by the eminent Jewish jurist Judge Mack and given a second set of instructions.
Hit the like button, please.
The gist of it was that if they had come back with a not guilty or hung jury, to remember the expense in which the government would be put, the public would have lost time, the court, the jury, and the witnesses would have to go through the entire exercise again. They went back into the jury room and 30 minutes later came back with a verdict.
Say it ain't
What
so.
I was concerned with was the truth. I asked no mercy. I asked no sympathy. I asked for justice based on the evidence given in the courtroom. I later found out that the judge wanted to speed things up because he had an appointment with the International Zionist Convention in Chicago. It was also due to the fact that I had acquired my first set of papers for naturalization, and they wanted to obstruct my quest for citizenship. In my closing statement, I told those 12 men that they were to judge a man by the testimony, by what had been brought into the case, by their judgment of what is wrong and what is right. You may condemn the body, but not the soul. It was not in their power to condemn the body. God condemns the soul.
That's right.
Judge me, and God will judge you for judging Marcus Garvey.
That's right.
The trial took 5.5 weeks, and every day I had a fight with the district attorney. As we went along, I realized it was impossible for me to escape the traps that were being laid out by the press, rival organizations, personal enemies, foreign governments who were interested in me being convicted. No one, not even the absent attorney, could have fought for me as I fought for myself, because he would have been risking the friendship and goodwill of the powerful influences that were aligned against me. There were several witnesses brought in by the government who probably because of a bribe would say anything the prosecutors told them to. For instance, Edgar Gray, a man with a super abundance of intelligence, could not say where he was really from. He claimed he was born in Sierra Leone, West Africa. That man was a coconut born in Antigua. Gray disappeared from the UNIA with funds of the organization, which he handled in my absence and for whom a warrant was out for his arrest. There was also Leo Healy. I regarded him as a friend. The very morning when he came in to testify, I met him outside, shook his hand, not knowing that he was there to testify against me. At one time he said I was a good man, then I was bad because I did not pay him the bills of the Black Star Line. Garvey was not the Black Star Line. We were not asking his opinion of the Star Line. We were asking his opinion of Marcus Garvey. He said understand that he believed that I was a member of the Ku Klux Klan. Now he knows there ain't no black man a member of the KKK. Well,
do you hear this kangaroo court BS that our Godfather had to go through? They accused they got a Negro pen to go on the stand and say that he thought that he was part of the KKK. How absurd. Oh my God. Do you hear this, guys? Did y'all know that? Oh my God. Oh wow. They went up there and said that this man was part of the Ku Klux Klan. He is literally the biggest, he's the leader of the biggest black organization we've ever had. And they said that the man was part of the KKK. Hey, you can't make this shit up, people. You can't make this shit up. Oh my God. When I heard this, I said, I could not believe that they actually pulled this off in the courtroom. It was straight up kangaroo court. Okay. That's why we should know at this time, like, we're not going to get no justice in these courtrooms. Hope y'all know that. The brother was making a good case for himself, but during the course of the trial, he realized that basically there was a kangaroo setup, and that these people do not follow their own laws when it comes to us. Okay, that's the reason why we have to have a go back to Africa plan or Africa escape plan. That's the reason why we got to have it, because you're not going to get no justice here. Okay, and if you do get it, you're going to spin through the nose in order to get it. That's the only way you can get it. If that wasn't true, it would be hard to believe. I know, right?
When we placed Mrs. Lawson on the witness stand, well, she wore dark glasses, obviously, to obscure the movements of her eyes and her line of stare as she tried to communicate with the prosecutor.
So you couldn't see her
During
line.
cross-examination, we asked her to show her subpoena. As she fumbled around and looked at the district attorney, lowering her head, waiting for his approval. She said she bought stock in 1917, even though the Black Star Line never sold stock in 1917. It was not in existence then.
It wasn't even in
She claimed to be
existence.
sick, as were two other witnesses who were able to make a quick $30 in the 5 minutes they spent on the stand.
So they paid them to lie.
Prosecutor wanted to appeal to the sympathy of that jury. A young man named Cargill admitted on the stand to the dismay and disgust of the prosecutor that he was told what to say concerning the circulars and letters supposedly brought in as evidence in the case. Folks try to misrepresent me and say that I do not like white people. Some of my best friends are white. The bishop, who was my friend since my youthful days, testified. When I asked him of his opinion of Marcus Garvey, he said, doubtful. They didn't understand what he meant. I was a public man. Opinions differ. Surely some men are doubtful of me and some are not. He didn't say that Garvey was doubtful. When I asked him for his personal opinion, the question was objected to and sustained by the judge.
So they asked a friend of his, a Caucasian minister, rabbi, not rabbi, but priest or whatever, and he said doubtful, right? But he was asking his opinion. So then when Garvey had a chance to cross-examine this same person, he asked him the same question, and of course they objected. Boy, it's like we could hear these things that happen to some of our greats in history, and somehow it doesn't translate down into us. We don't understand that this stuff has never changed. It's the same way right now to this minute. It hasn't changed. Nothing has changed. Unfortunately, W. Du Bois participated in taking down Garvey only to be dealt the same blows by the same WS system. Exactly, because we failed to realize that they play us against each other. That's why, if you notice, when I was on Go Black channel yesterday, we both have respect for my man Calloway. You're not going to hear us say anything bad about what he's doing over there. And you all have to learn, when you disagree with somebody, you still have to speak about them in such a way where it still elevates them. Okay? I will sit down with that brother any day. I'll break bread with that brother any day. Okay? I do differ in opinions with him, but I will sit down with him any day. I will break bread with him any day. I would chop it up with that brother any day. So you ain't gonna be able to get me on no stand to go against my brother. It'll never happen. I'd rather go to jail. This is the type of stuff that we need to be practicing to be on code. That's why we need to soften our tone when it comes to us. Whether you agree with me, disagree, you agree with that person, you disagree, the fact that we practicing racial loyalty, we're going to lower our tone when it comes to these individuals, whether you agree or disagree with them. But then when other folks that's outside of us, right, we can have smoke for them all day long. But you notice it don't take place like that, do it? I can't even make that up. Make that out. T, what is that? Hand claps. Okay, yeah. So that's what we need to be doing. Okay, and he's clearly telling us from being on the stand how they was able to manipulate even folks that he considered to be friends, right? Folks that even look like him, folks who are also being oppressed, right? They was able to turn these people so easily, right, to go against him. But now this is what I'm saying about the code. If Garvey had the code set in place, even if he was taken out of the movement, the code would have shifted, right? And other folks could have rose up to sort of be like you know, what they call that person that's in front of the band. You know, they be doing that with that first person in front of the band, whatever they call that person, right? But everybody know what they need to do that's behind that person. They already got their moves. That would be the code, okay? So if we were on code, you won't be able to get people in the courtroom that's going to go against, because that's what I think what happened in Afghanistan. Let me switch gears a little bit. When I look at what's going on in Afghanistan, I looked at it pretty much all this morning because I really want to know what they did, how they did it, and what I really think happened. Drum major, that's it. Thank you, West Coast. What really happened in, or at least what I think what really happened in Afghanistan was that they practiced a code. They made the military and the allied forces believe that they were going to hold the line against their own brethren. And they truly convinced the allied forces and got them to pump $800 billion into the country. I don't think y'all heard me. 800 billion. They was able to get them to pump into Afghanistan under the auspice of, we're gonna hold the government, we're gonna hold the line, we have a 300,000 man army, and now you gonna supply us with all the weapons, tanks, planes, bombs, bullets, and you're gonna pay us salaries. And they did that for all these years. So we may think, and they got to say this on the news, we didn't anticipate them taking over so fast. The reason why it happened so fast, because they was all in on it. That's why. The Afghan leadership was in on it. The soldiers on that side was in on it. And the Taliban, they was all in on it. It was the greatest, to me, the greatest feat of misdirection I've ever seen. Yeah, they was in on it. You expect us to go against our own brethren for you, the great Satan? The whole world fell for it. That's exactly what they did. And 20 years against powerful military couldn't break the code. Damn right they couldn't. What's going on, Zen? I see you. No, they played chess, they played Go, they played checkers, they played Connect Four, they played hopscotch. They played spades. Hey, ain't no way the country would have failed in 2 days, half an hour. The shit fell in a half an hour. Genius. Shout out. I ain't gonna even finish the rest. Shout out. Because that was genius. That was 20 years in the making, people. And now they 800 billion plus richer, well fortified. Oh my God. That's incredible. That's incredible, guys. This is what I'm saying. Now, why can't we do something like that? Why can't we do that? Because that's literally what the Allied forces were asking the Afghan government to go against their own brothers. And I'm going to give you the play before that, right? In case you all weren't paying attention, because I was. A few years ago, I can't remember exactly when it was, that they told people at the negotiating table, they said, hey, if y'all want peace, how y'all gonna get us to the peace table for peace talks when you're holding some of our people in jail? And we heard that y'all treating them very harshly. And they was like, oh, no, we're not treating them harshly. Well, if y'all want us to come to the peace talks and you want us to have a ceasefire, then we want y'all to release some of our brothers out of jail. And they fell for it, guys. They let them out. They let the most hardened, right, will take it straight to you, dudes out. They let them out to get the Taliban to the peace talks. And so once their brothers got released, what did they do? They came to the peace talks and they actually had a ceasefire, right? So when no American soldiers getting shot at, and it was a relatively calm peace. Now you might have had a couple flare-ups or a couple little incidents here and there, but nothing major, no major offensives, right? Which made them think that things were gonna go a certain way. They played their cards to perfection. And then soon as this goofy Sleepy Joe get up in there, they play this dude like a fiddle. This is gonna be the demise of his presidency. I hope y'all know that. Okay? Because they played everybody. Not only did they play the whole world, they even played the folks, their own citizens got played. They didn't even know what was going on. That's why right now they all in their houses shook because they didn't even know what was happening. Hey, the regular folks on the ground didn't even know what was happening. That's why right now they shook. And all the ones that was cooperating with the government because you was off code, they coming. They doing house to house searches right now. So if you was off code, you finna get dealt with. It's a cold game out here, people. But this is the way it's played. Yes. Yes. Hey, it's a cold game. But they played it to perfection. I have to give them credit. And we need to be learning from this. Yes, absolutely. Because they all got played. All these generals, all these supposed to be super intelligent West Point graduates, and they was in this war. They did so many tours and all that stuff. What did it show you? What did it show you? They got played to the tune of 800 billion. And the Taliban get back control of what? the gas. They got a huge reserve of natural gas there, and they get back control of the poppy fields. And they got all the weapons, all the bullets, all the helicopters. Right? They said the president. I heard a report today from Al Jazeera. The president, when he was leaving the country, they said he could barely fit in the car because he had so much cash that he could barely get himself in the car. I was like, my man, the Taliban took care of him. Hey man, you going on over there and chill out and what was it? Kyrgyzstan. Go hang out over there, and we're gonna give you we'll give you about $1 billion, right? And for you and your family, we'll give y'all a safe harbor, and then we'll go ahead and take over. It wasn't even no fight. That let me know, yeah, the fix was in. They got the same weapons exactly for free. For free. They got them for free. Yeah, they got played big time. That's why they mad. You see, Biden came out with his little speech yesterday. He act like he was pissed. Yeah, because you got played. The whole world get to see it. So this gonna add to the demise of the West. Because the American pulled out with no real strategic plan on how to pull out effectively, right? The other allies had to pull out too because they are weak. So they show how weak they really are. Once America pulled out, Germany, I was on there watching German TV today. They had to pull out. England got to pull out. The French got to pull out. All these weak. That's why I say they make it seem like they're so powerful, but they are truly weak. And this one little conflict showed how weak they really is because on German TV they were saying, why don't the Germans just stay, and why don't the French and the England? Why can they just stay? They can put together a force of about 10,000 apiece, so that'd be like a $50,000 force. The Taliban they estimate is only 75,000. So you let 75,000 people took supposedly. We don't know, quote unquote. We don't know how many it is, but 75,000 was able to take over the whole country without a shot being fired, and they get to basically inherit an $800 billion stockpile. It's crazy. Welfare, yes. Kamala will not be president. Now, I heard they asked her to speak and she declined. She don't want this blame. She don't want this put at her feet. Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, I heard. I don't know if they say he couldn't fit it in the car, he couldn't fit it in the plane. One of the two. Let's see what West Coast said. That's why they pulled. They knew that they was getting played. I don't know. I think from the way it seemed like and the way it went down, I don't think they knew. Right? Because the backlash of what I'm seeing on all these different channels, because that's why you got to look at news from other countries. That's why I was on German TV today. And of course, Al Jazeera, I was on theirs. And then I came back to America. So when you look at the Europeans news, right, or the Arabian news, then you start seeing a clearer picture on what the world is really saying and how they really feel about this. They bent out of shape about this dude because the Taliban finna go house to house. What they call this? What they call that? Hold on. Revenge killings. Yeah. Revenge killings are taking place house to house. Okay. And are they going to show that? And I think they're gonna probably be a little bit more diplomatic and just disappear folks, and they're not gonna show it. The Taliban of old would be on there with your head severed from your body and taking pictures with your head. But I think the new Taliban, they're gonna do the same thing, but they ain't gonna let people see it. I think that's what they're gonna do. Oh, it was a car. Yeah, full of cash. I would love to. Yeah, I would love to get a picture of that too. Shoot, man, that'd be a. Hey, that picture there'll get you some bread. You could ask for $1 million from TMZ for that picture. Let's see, collaborator, exactly, because they was off code. See, that's why the code has to be the thing that you're governed by. See, if the folks who collaborated with the Allied forces, if they had been on code right now, they wouldn't even have nothing to worry about, right? You were supposed to resist the temptation of helping the Allied forces against your own brothering, your own sisters, your own brothers. And because they was off code, the Taliban has to go house to house, and people are at their house waiting for them to come. They've already resigned themselves to their fate because they know what's going to happen. Okay? They drunk the Kool-Aid. They let these white folks charge them up, put them cables on their back. And they thought that this was going to be a democratic, open society. Wrong. It's going to be an Islamic dictatorship. And now they got money, weapons. They got the poppy fields. They got the natural gas. Oh my God, it's going down. Hell yeah, it's it's probably more powerful now. Shit, than Iran. It's probably more powerful than Iran right now. Let me see. I saw a lot of people returning to the country happy as, yeah, because the people who are returning more likely are folks who were on code. Okay. So just because I'm out of the country don't mean I'm off code. So I think the folks who are returning are folks who were on code, and now they get a chance to share power. They get a chance to actually be in the leadership. They get a chance to go back and open up businesses, right? Because they was on code. So you're going to be rewarded for staying on code. So yeah, I would go back too. Now we're going to be wealthy beyond a measure. You see the difference? So I saw that people were happy to go back. I already knew what that was. Shit, they was on code. They were like, shit. They was like, bravo, 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 bravo. Well done, my brothers. Y'all pulled off the best. It took it 20 years to pay off, but it paid off big, big. Just think if we could play a game like that for 20 years and have an $800 billion payoff in 20 years, I'm sure we will all sign up to do it. I'm sure we would. Okay. I'm almost certain we would. I know I would. I'd be the first one to sign up for it. Even they thought they were such. Yeah, exactly. White savers. But see, they made this mistake before. If you go back in history, this is how I knew it was going to happen. Go back to when the English tried to, what they did. The English, when they invaded Afghanistan. You go back and look at what the English did when they invaded Afghanistan, the same thing happened. Identical. They didn't learn their lesson. I would have looked up this years ago, right? And found out that when they went there, they thought it was easy for them just to move out the Taliban. Back then, they called them something else. But these are just modern day from then. And the same thing happened. They end up basically taking all their stuff. They pretty much took everything from them. What they tried to do was, it was a dude called Dunford. I think his name was Dunford, something like that. And he went in and thinking that he was going to be able to conquer Afghanistan with a small force, which they just kind of let him come in. All right, cool. We don't get a chance to rob this dude, so they let him come in, and they fled to the hills like they were scared, right? And then so they would come down and do hit and run raids, right? So he started bringing in more forces. So they kept doing hit and run raids, right? So eventually he's like, man, I'm sick of this shit. And then he was getting pressure from England, like, hey, you need to get something done over there. You need to get that stuff wrapped up. So guess what? He decided to let a few of the key generals or warlords know, hey, look, I'm willing to pay you all a handsome sum if you help me handle some of the, the rougher warlords. Help me catch them and imprison them so I can, go ahead and finish this invasion of the country. So they agreed to meet him, and him with his dumb self showed up with just a few soldiers, right? And of course, it was an ambush. So when he tried to pay one of the warlords, dude took the money, and as soon as he took the money, he asked him a question. He said, "Do you still want to go ahead with the treachery that we're planning?" And then Dornford said, "Of course, absolutely." So he was satisfied and thinking that everything was good. As soon as he turned his back, my man did a sign, and warriors came out of the hills everywhere and arrested dude, right? So they was going to try him, right, for crimes against humanity or whatever. And before they could get to town, right, a crowd found out about it, and they were so fed up with the English that they literally ripped my man from limb to limb. They was able to take him from the soldiers, and they tore my man apart with their bare hands, and they was playing around with his head in the square. This is what happened to the English when they tried to invade Afghanistan. They haven't learned. Afghanistan ain't nothing to play with, people. Yeah, no, right. And then the Russians went over there. You see what happened to them? Defeat miserably. And now they didn't play the whole world now. The whole Allied forces got played. So this is a big deal, guys. They try to downplay it, but nah, this finna get away. The next few weeks, it's gonna be a done deal. They're gonna be looking around here mad, mad, especially when they try to reach folks over there and they not answering the phones. Guess why they not answering them phones? Y'all already know. They're gonna be buried with them phones. Nothing to play with. Exactly. West Coast. America got them, yeah, with their pants down. What up, Susan? I see you. Don't be sneaking in here. What up? What up? But yes, it's a beautiful thing to see it at work. I just wish we could do some. We need to be doing that. See, practice some of that spook that's set behind the door. We need to be doing some of that. I see you. I see you. Y'all see I'm sporting my red, black, and green. You know what I mean? But yeah, y'all pay attention. Start looking at more news from around the world, so you can start getting a bigger and wider perspective on how this really is going to look for American politics around the world. Okay, and then also the fact that they're taking a defeat on the world stage. I'm just gonna pull y'all coattail before we get up out of here, because we already been on over an hour. When they lose a battle like this and the whole world is laughing at them, they tend to come home and they're mad. So they want to take it out on somebody. Guess who they like to take it out on? I'm just putting y'all on point just in case y'all didn't know. What have I been telling y'all? Keep your head on a swivel. And matter of fact, we shouldn't even be talking about these subjects with them. When they start asking, if you happen to work around some of them and they asking you about what you think, just say, I have no opinion. Keep your head on a swivel because this is when they're the most dangerous. And the only people that they can really come for is groups that they have already domesticated. Exactly. It was a theft. It was a robbery. It was genius. Genius. Now I feel bad for the brothers and sisters, right? That may have went over there fighting. Now I feel for them. So shout out and may they rest in power. But this they just got caught up in something that they didn't know nothing about. You have to study military science. Yeah, of course it was all planned. These people they will not fall for the divide and conquer. See, this is what people don't know. If you look back in their history, they don't fall for that. They don't fall for that. Yeah, they are. T. Yep. No, they not. Susan, no, they not. But this is more reason why we need to be on code. See, the code is what's going to protect you. Yep. The code is what's going to protect you. And you're supposed to be on code whether somebody's looking or not. If you by yourself, you still need to be on code. If you with the group, you still need to be on code. Okay? Because that's what's going to protect you. As we go through more, now that I got the mic and I got the nice dash cam up there. I mean, not dash cam. Y'all know what the webcam. I'm gonna break out the book so we can start going through Neely Fuller Jr.'s book because to me, that's on point. Okay, so we can have our code and we need to reinforce it because I realize when I'm talking to you all, a lot of y'all not really sure what I be talking about when I say code. Right? That's the buzzword. But now what does that mean? How does the code look in your day-to-day operations? Your day-to-day travels. What does the code mean? How do you handle certain situations? Okay. And that way you won't be getting into, man, look at that, what that brother over there doing. No, that guy over there is not a brother. He's not, what he's doing over there is off code. You either can bring it to his attention, and if he act like he don't know what it is, then he is not a brother just because he has the same skin tone as you. You first got to have the same skin tone, and you have to be on code in order to be considered a brother or a sister. Maybe y'all didn't know that. But that's what we got to do. So in the coming months, since I got stuff set up and I'm gonna figure out how to work this camera so we can have a much better video quality. And now I got to get a mic for that. I think one of them mics with the little fuzzy thing on it for the wind thing. And start breaking down the code a little bit more as we get ready to head out. in December, and then we'll get to some fun videos. But right now, we need to be paying attention because you see things are happening in the world, people. Things are happening. Okay, and it's finna get rough because believe me, people on the news, they are talking crazy. Man, they talking crazy. So it's gonna be some repercussions behind this because how did they? Because people are starting to ask why and how now. Okay, and that was 800 billion of our money. It's crisp. That's what I'm talking about. That's what's up. I'm glad it is. Okay, so now we can really sit here and try. And I'm gonna I'm gonna download the Stream Labs because I'm off tomorrow. So I got to make phone calls tomorrow. I got people I got to call. So any of you all who watching on the stream, just know I'll be calling you all tomorrow. I think I got about 5 or 7 people to call. So I will be calling y'all tomorrow. I was out shopping today, so now I got the setup ready. I'll give you all a call tomorrow to touch base on some mentorships and pilgrimage. Yeah, it's a major. Yeah, that's a major because now not only do they get a chance to commandeer all that stuff, China did not hesitate. Less than a day, we will recognize the new power in Afghanistan. We already knew it, so they finna run in there and fortify that. Of course, Russia will be right behind, and Pakistan always been supporting the Taliban. So it's over with. It's over with, guys. They got played big time. So now, man, that's a major loss. Contrary to whatever they say, that's a major loss. Major, 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 major. So they're gonna be looking for blood. So expect little countries around the world, America coming and holler at you. If anybody say something out of pocket, now you a small country, yeah, they coming with some bombs. they got to reassert themselves. I heard somebody say earlier, yeah, Joe Biden's pullout game is whack. His pullout game is whack. We can't say that. We can't say that over here, Susan. I got what you said though. Yeah, his pullout game is whack. But he was sleeping on the job, man. Yeah, he crazy. That's why I say these. Hey, I'm gonna ride these Democrats because y'all voted for this mess. Y'all voted for this, okay? Yeah, it was collide. This is messed up. This is messed up, okay? China finna run in there right quick, get them support. Russia finna give them support. These are all neighbors. Oh my God. They have no reason at all to want to negotiate now. They have everything they need. So yeah, they finna set up an Islamic dictatorship. Yes. And they finna hunt down all their political enemies. And anybody that was off code, y'all get ready. It's going down. Ain't shit finna stop them. Nobody. Those people in trouble. They should have stayed with the code. So I have no sympathy for them. Hey, you should have stayed with the code. I may not agree with their politics. I may not agree with what their overall mission in life or whatever. But I do respect that they don't let outsiders, white knights, divide them, right? They don't let that divide and conquer work. They played that to the hilt. I've never seen anything in modern times. That was the best I've seen. That's how bad. This how big this is. Hell yeah, it's about to get real. Really than they really expected because they thought most of those people drank the Kool-Aid and they thought the albino savior was going to change that environment, change that region forever. They thought that this was going to be the norm. Boy, it's going to be archaic as hell over there. King of finesse, that's exactly. No sympathy, never betray your own countrymen. Exactly. Now we have to get on that. See, we have to get on that. We've just seen it being played out on the world stage, and they done it to perfection. I would like to, man. I would like to sit in if I was a bug, fly or some shit. If I could have sat in on them meetings when they was putting that together, oh my God, the books I would write, the movies I would make. Exactly. Case study. Because they played this to the hilt for the world to see. America is in trouble. It's in trouble, guys. They can never be looked at in a certain light anymore. To get played this royal in front of everybody for damn near $1 trillion. We out here looking bad. They got us out here looking bad. They got us out here looking bad. Hey, we can't say that the chat. We can't say that, Zen. You practice enemy of my enemy is my friend. So depending on which party that will give us the most tangibles is the one that you vote for. Then in the next election, if the other party decides, okay, well, we're willing to give you more than what they gave you last time, then we will vote for that party. That's how it should be. Yeah, well, they're gonna control definitely all of Afghanistan. That's for sure. But you know, they border right there with China, so that's gonna be an ally now. And Russia's gonna be an ally. And they on the other border. Then you got Pakistan there. And Pakistan is an ally. So they are literally powerful enough now that they could take on the allied forces. Russia, China, Afghanistan, and Pakistan could literally take on all the allies together now. That was a major finesse. Major. Yeah. Yeah. Why should they? They're going to be an ally. They don't need to close the embassy. I know, right? This is crazy, people, but this is something for us to learn from. That's the reason why I'm really emphasizing it in case y'all don't be paying attention, because I know some of y'all don't really watch the news, but you should start watching. What did I tell y'all? We need to start paying attention now because things are moving in warp speed. So they got to warn their people, and they're using the mainstream media through coded language in order to do it. So your job is to watch the news now and figure out the coded language. Yeah. They gave you chills. Hey, it's all good. You know what I mean? That's why you got, you want to keep your smart brothers in good graces. You want to. That's why I was saying before about we need to watch our tone with one another. We want to speak more exemplary of each other because we all have something to contribute, right? Now, I've been secretly paying attention to that whole situation, and I'm even surprised of how well they pulled that off. Now, I felt that it would be um, a Taliban regime there, but I didn't think in a day. That lets me know that they was all in on it. I was thinking like a year. So I was off, but I knew it was gonna be that way. But I didn't think it was gonna be one day with nobody, no casualties, no shots, no nothing. Oh yeah, that was a finesse. And they all probably somewhere laughing, drinking, having fun. You know what I'm saying? Just having a good old time because they that's the biggest news probably in the last since 9/11. Since 11/9. All right, my eyes start to water. It's time for me to get ready to go wash these clothes, right? We need each other more than ever now. Exactly, we do. We need each other all along, but we really need each other now because they're gonna be looking for blood because this is a major loss. And if you look at any of the European um, news channels, y'all start going online, typing in Germany's news, France, maybe Spain, Switzerland, the Netherlands. Start looking at English-speaking European nations news on the internet, so you can start seeing what they're saying. If you go look and see what they're saying, this is major. Yeah, Al Jazeera. Yeah. That's why I say this is crazy, y'all. But we living in crazy times. But I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. If anybody want to contribute, you see your brother spending money, we can have a better setup over here, and we're gonna spend a little bit more to have even a better setup. And I'm gonna download that Streamlabs, which is gonna cost money. So if anybody want to contribute, let me put that in the chat. Let me see. Contribute to the Cash App. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Cause y'all can't say your brother ain't spending money to bring y'all the best. We went out and spent for folks who just coming in. That's what we got. Mark III. That's that. It's that $800 joint. I got to get extra batteries. Got the charger. I got to get extra batteries. I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I got the tripod. Shout out to the people who donated so far. Y'all bought this tripod. It was $79 just for that. And the mic and that was $180. So we spent like $1,100 today just on those things. So we got to go tomorrow and buy maybe 3 new batteries, and I'm gonna buy another charger. Probably 2 more. I'm probably gonna buy 2 more chargers. They're $49 a piece at Best Buy for the chargers. So I probably need to pick up 2 more chargers, and I need to pick up at least 3 batteries. So when we do get ready to go to Sierra Leone, y'all gonna get that good footage, okay? And I need to pick up a new shotgun mic, right? With the noise canceling. Okay. So that way we can have great sound, great video, right? Great content, because we're going over there to ball out of control when we get ready to go over there. Right? Oh yeah, it's money well spent. Yeah, because I want to make sure you guys get the best. I wasn't taking it serious, but we got a nice group of folks that do come over, And so we just got to get y'all to shell out a little bit so it won't be so hard on my pockets. Okay. So we can get the very best equipment so we can give you all some really good content because I'm going to be going to a lot of places, guys. We're going to do Sierra Leone in December. We're going to do Sierra Leone in April and Liberia in April. So look out for that. And then toward the end of the year, I'm going to make a decision on where we're going to go next. Me and my son are supposed to go to Egypt. So we may go to Egypt the end of next year. So we'll see. And then I'm thinking after that, 2023, if we're still here and they ain't blowed up the world yet, I would like to do 2 major trips outside of the tours. That's maybe Ethiopia and Mali. 2023. I think those would be the 2 major trips I want to take. Mali and Ethiopia. Money well spent. Just booked my flight to the Gambia. Yes, that's what's up, Sweetberry. Done. No problem. That's great, Sweetberry. What's the name of the camera? You didn't see that? Canon. It's a Canon. G7X Mark III. You got it? I know it's kind of switched. It should be. Let's say, yeah, it's right the right way. So yeah, now I need a mic for that, and then I need batteries and extra chargers so we can get ready. And we're gonna be giving y'all some really good stuff. Yeah, she going to the Gambia. Don't be. I talked to Mr. Mosley today too. Me and him chopped it up for a minute on the phone. So he gonna try to make it over for the December trip. So we getting this stuff at the right time because I want to have time to know how to use it. Make sure I've got everything connected right. I'll bring my computer so we can sit there and do some really good videos. So we're gonna be bringing y'all some really good stuff. So I'm gonna download the Streamlabs so we can start bringing on guests and bringing some of you all on. And then I'm gonna figure out the Zoom stuff so we can bring more people on. But yeah, stay tuned, people. We're gonna do some great things. But y'all, if you don't mind, we can chip in a few dollars to help your brother get some of this stuff. But we gonna get it. Either way, we still gonna get it. Y'all help out, we'll get it quicker. If you don't, it's just gonna take us a little longer because I'm using all my own money. But we're gonna go on and get up out of here. Happy birthday, Godfather, the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey, right? We should be doing these things every year. So what I need to do, or if somebody's studious enough, right? Because you know the brother is busy. If some of y'all are studious enough, if you can write down some of our greats in recent times, right, that has passed, write down their birthdays and email it to me so we can do something similar to this on their birthdays. We really need to be celebrating because a lot of us don't get a chance to actually go through their catalog and really give them the respect that we should. So that could be the John Henry Clark, that could be Dr. Ben, that could be Dr. Africa, okay? It could be Dr. Sabi. Some of our greats, y'all go through there, name them, and maybe the last 40 years. Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, so we can, on their birthdays, we can do something similar like we're doing today. Give them the proper respect that's due. And then maybe we can get shirts or something with their stuff on it. And then go through some of their catalogs and then sit here and chop it up and see what we really missing with what they really done for us. They have done a lot. And I don't think we give them the proper respect. On them days, should be basically holidays to us. It ain't got to be federal. It ain't got to be state. It ain't got to be local. But it should be holidays in our households. Okay. Let me see what y'all saying. Okay. But that's what I want to give y'all on that. But we're gonna go and get up out of here. I appreciate y'all. And if anybody choose to donate, y'all know I definitely appreciate it. We already got stuff cited and allocated to get. So don't worry. But we're gonna get out of here. As always, peace and Black African power.